After 10 years of love and anticipation, could this truly be the most spectacular wedding of the decade? Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah have finally tied the knot, turning their long-awaited love story into a breathtaking reality that has left fans around the world in awe. Join Red Carpet Revealed as we take you inside every unforgettable moment, right now. For a decade, they had been one of Korea's most admired couples, not just because of their talent or their beauty, but because of the quiet, unwavering way they loved each other. Through triumphs and trials, they stood together. Their relationship a rare constant in an industry where love stories often fade under the harsh glare of the spotlight. And now, at long last, Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah have stepped into a new chapter, exchanging vows in what has been hailed as the wedding of the decade. The announcement had been kept under wraps for months. In a world where even the smallest celebrity interaction can spark headlines, the couple had managed to plan their day with remarkable discretion. The news broke only a week before the ceremony, with both of their agencies releasing a simple, joint statement. Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah will be getting married in a private ceremony with family and close friends. Thank you for your warm support over the years. Reaction was immediate and electric. Fans flooded social media with celebratory posts, sharing their favorite moments from the couple's long history. The first paparazzi shots of them in 2015, the public confirmation of their relationship, the way Shin Min-ah stood by Woo-bin during his battle with cancer, and the way he, in turn, never missed an opportunity to credit her for his strength. In every image, every anecdote, there was a sense of deep, enduring devotion. The days leading up to the wedding felt like the calm before a storm of joy. Close friends hinted on Instagram about a very special day coming. Stylists posted cryptic snapshots of lace and silk, and a few eagle-eyed fans spotted Woo-bin at a tailor's shop known for crafting bespoke tuxedos. Still, no one could have predicted just how breathtaking the day itself would be. The venue was a private villa perched on the edge of a lush hillside, overlooking a stretch of blue water that seemed to merge with the sky. That morning, the air was crisp, the sunlight warm but gentle, and the scent of fresh flowers drifted across the grounds. Rows of white chairs lined a petal-strewn aisle, leading to an altar framed by cascading wisteria and roses. It was as if a scene from a romance film had been brought to life. Guests began to arrive in the late afternoon, a mix of family, close friends, and some of the most recognizable names in Korean entertainment. They mingled quietly, respecting the couple's wish for an intimate atmosphere. Cameras were not permitted, but that didn't stop the glow of anticipation from radiating through the crowd. Everyone knew they were about to witness a moment 10 years in the making. When the music began, a soft piano arrangement of a classic love song, the chatter fell away to silence. First came the wedding party, then Woo-bin, standing at the altar in a black tuxedo that seemed to have been made just for this moment. His hair was swept back neatly, his eyes scanning the aisle as if willing time to move faster. When she finally appeared, every breath seemed to catch at once. Shin Min-ah was a vision in a gown of hand-stitched lace, the train trailing gracefully behind her as she walked. Her veil was sheer enough to let the sunlight kiss her face, and her bouquet, a blend of white peonies and soft pink roses, trembled slightly in her hands. But it was her smile, directed straight at him, that lit up the entire garden. Woo-bin's lips curved upward in an expression that was equal parts awe and love. Their vows were simple, heartfelt, unshakably sincere. He spoke first, thanking her for her patience, her faith, and her laughter through every season of their lives together. She responded with a promise to keep building a life with him that was grounded in kindness and joy. There was a moment, just before they exchanged rings, when their hands touched and lingered. And it was clear to everyone present that this was more than ceremony, it was a promise etched into the fabric of their lives. When they kissed, the applause was immediate, rising like a wave. Petals rained down as they walked back up the aisle hand in hand, their smiles bright and unguarded. The wedding of the decade had begun. The evening still had stories to tell. The reception was held under a canopy of light strung between the villa's garden trees, each bulb glowing like a captured star. Long tables were set with crystal glassware, fine china, and arrangements of blush-toned flowers that seemed almost too perfect to touch. Soft jazz played in the background, blending seamlessly with the hum of conversation and the occasional burst of laughter. The menu was a reflection of the couple's tastes, elegant but warm, with a mix of traditional Korean dishes and Western favorites. There was galbi served alongside roasted lamb, kit kimchi pancakes paired with truffle-infused pasta. For dessert, guests were treated to slices of a towering, three-tiered cake adorned with sugar flowers that mirrored the blooms in Minna's bouquet. Toasts began as the sun dipped low, the sky shades of gold and lavender. Woo Bin's best friend spoke first, recalling the early days of their relationship, the way Woo Bin's eyes softened whenever Minna's name was mentioned, the quiet determination with which he planned their future. A time friend of Minna's followed, sharing a story about a night Minna first confided that she thought she had met the person she would marry. Then, in a moment that surprised everyone, the couple took the microphone together. Their families, their friends, and their fans for supporting them through every chapter of their journey. Woo Bin's voice caught slightly as he said, 10 years ago, I met someone who made every day better. Today, I get to call her my wife. Minna smiled at him before turning to the crowd. We waited a long time for this day, and we're so grateful you're here to share it with us. After dinner, the first dance began. The lights dimmed, and a soft spotlight followed them as they moved together, their steps slow and sure. It wasn't choreographed or flashy, it was simply two people holding onto each other, in time to a song that only they seemed to hear. It's watched in silence, some with tears in their eyes, until the music faded and applause filled the night air. As the evening wore on, the formality gave way to joy. Friends took to the dance floor. Laughter rang out across the garden, and even the most reserved guests found themselves caught up in the celebration. At one point, Woo Bin and Minna slipped away to the edge of the garden, holding hand in hand beneath a willow tree. They looked out over the water, the reflection of the lights shimmering like the future that lay ahead of them, bright, endless, and full of promise. It was time to leave. They walked out together through an archway of sparklers held by their guests, their faces lit by the golden glow. There was no need for grand speeches or dramatic gestures. They had already said everything they needed to say with the way they looked at each other. And so, after 10 years of love, patience, unwavering commitment, Kim Woo Bin and Shin Minna stepped into forever. The wedding of the decade was over. But their story, the real story, was just beginning. Even as the last notes of music faded and the sparklers died down, there was a lingering sense in the air that something magical had just happened, something that would be remembered not just by those who were there, but by everyone who had followed Kim Woo Bin and Shin Minna's decade-long love story. The guests began to drift away, still talking about the way he looked at her as she walked down the aisle, or how she had leaned into him during the vows as though no one else existed in the world. Later, some of those guests would share quiet glimpses of the evening, not photographs, as the couple had requested privacy. Words that painted vivid pictures. One well-known actor described the moment right after the first dance. Woo Bin whispered something to Minna that made her laugh softly and press her forehead to his. Another friend mentioned how Minna had changed into a second, more relaxed gown for the reception, a silk dress that allowed her to move easily as she danced barefoot on the grass with her friends. Behind the scenes, the staff who worked the wedding spoke with quiet admiration about how gracious and attentive the couple had been. The caterers noted that Woo Bin personally thanked each member of the kitchen staff before leaving, while the decorators were touched to see Minna complimenting them on the floral arrangements, saying they had made her dream come true. Perhaps one of the most touching moments came during the final hour of the evening, when the crowd had thinned and only the closest friends and family remained. The couple slipped away from the center of the celebration to sit on a small bench at the edge of the garden, overlooking the water. They sat there for a long time in comfortable silence, occasionally exchanging a few quiet words. At one point, Woo Bin reached over and took her hand, placing his fingers with hers. "We made it," he said simply. She smiled, her head on his shoulder. "And now it begins." Those words seemed to encapsulate the entire journey, the years of supporting each other through the highs and lows, the patience, the resilience, and the unshakable belief that they would get here, together. When it was finally time to leave, their car waited at the end of the driveway, decorated not with the loud streamers and signs of a typical wedding send-off, but with a simple arrangement of white flowers tied to the bumper. As they walked toward it, guests on either side cheered and clapped softly, the sparklers casting golden halos in the cool night air. Woo Bin helped Minna into the car, then turned back to wave one last time before sliding in beside her. The doors closed, the engine started. Just like that, they were gone, off into the night, toward a future they had built carefully, brick by brick. Over 10 years of unwavering love. The garden slowly emptied. But the warmth they had left behind lingered like the afterglow of a beautiful film. In the days following, social media was awash with heartfelt messages from fans around the world. Though no official photos from the wedding were released, the descriptions shared by those lucky enough to attend became treasures, passed along from one admirer to another. People spoke not just about the beauty of the event, but about the sincerity of the couple, how they had managed to make even the most glamorous day feel deeply human and profoundly personal. And that, perhaps, is why this wedding will be remembered for years to come. It wasn't just the spectacle or the star power, it was the sense that everyone present had witnessed something rare, a love story that had weathered time, distance, and challenges. Stronger than ever. For Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah, the wedding was the culmination of 10 years of shared history. But it was also the start of something even greater. The cameras, the flowers, and the music might be gone. The vows they spoke and the way they looked at each other that night will remain. Thank you for watching this video until the very end. I know you felt every moment of love, every quiet glance, and every heartbeat of this incredible journey. Don't miss our next update. We'll bring you even closer to Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah's first days as a married couple. A beautiful new chapter they're writing together. Stay tuned, the best is yet to come.